Every single medieval village has one building that glues everything together. Not the castle, not the houses, and not the market, but the inn. Because here's the thing, the castle is for one person, the market is for trading, but the inn, that's where everyone goes. The farmer after a long day, the merchant passing through, the guard who just finished his shift. If your village doesn't have an inn, it doesn't feel like a unified village. So, this week, we're building the Golden Tankard, and I'm going to show you how it infuses a village with atmosphere and camaraderie. Alright guys, before we place a single block, let me walk you through what makes this inn actually work, because most people build inns like boxes and wonder why they look more like hotels instead of medieval taverns. So for this build, there are 3 big rules. Rule 1, it's gotta be L-shaped, not a square. Using an L shape creates a courtyard, which can in turn be used as a sheltered area, a place for a fountain, a tree, any kind of foliage like that, or even just a place to sit. The main purpose is just to create a natural gathering point. Rule number 2, the chimney is always on the outside. And I know that sounds backwards, but a massive stone chimney bursting out of the exterior wall is what gives this building character. It's the first thing you see from a distance, and it makes it look warm and cozy inside. That in itself tells the story before you even walk through the door. Rule number 3, whenever it comes to an inn, the interior matters. We could spend almost half this video inside of this building, so instead I'm going to release a secondary video just for the interior of this build. So just remember though, a tavern that looks great from the outside but feels hollow inside is a massive fail. We are building somewhere that feels like people actually live and drink and argue in it. Also, if you have a data pack or a mod that has custom furniture, this building is definitely the time to use it. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so footprint first. This is where most people skip a step and regret it. Like I said, we're laying out a basic L shape. This main hall is going to be 11 blocks wide by 21 blocks deep, and then I'm going to extend one arm of the L, that's where the kitchen and back room is going to be, by 14 blocks wide, 11 blocks deep. So that's going to give us roughly 300 blocks of floor space inside of this building. And I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, once we put in the tables, a bar, a fireplace, the staircase, yeah, it fills up pretty fast. Now, with this build, we're going to do it slightly different than our previous builds, and we're going to start with the foundation. So, for the foundation, we're using stone brick and cobblestone. This makes the build look a bit more durable, and perhaps even a bit more expensive. I'm going to come in later to randomize the different blocks, however, you can feel free to do it as you build. Now this foundation should be 2 blocks tall above the ground, and if you're randomizing as you build, mix in a blotch of moss every 5 or 6 blocks as well. This is a building that has been here for decades, and it should look like it. Not overly worn to the point of crumbling, but certainly to the point of where it needed to be repaired throughout its history. With the foundation built, now we can start the walls. And this is where we separate the medieval builds from the boxy builds. As always, we're going to start with the frame. So we're going to build up these log pillars like all of our other builds. These are the structural bones, of course. So this style is a timber frame building. So the wood holds it up, and the walls are just the infill in between the wood. I do apologize for going a little bit too fast here, but it's the only way that I could fit it into the video. But once you have your block placement laid out there for your frames, always do it in an odd number. So we got 1 block in between, 3 blocks, 5 blocks, 7 blocks, 9 blocks, that type of thing. Now, once you have all of that laid out, we're going to kick each of these pillars up by 3. So we have the block that's there, we're going to add on 1, 2, 3, that'll make it 4 altogether. Then, once you have all of your pillars up to 4 blocks tall, we're going to go and we're going to connect the top of them with sideways log blocks. Now that our frame's done, we're moving into the wall fill. So So for this building, we're going to use 3 different blocks, not just one. Now remember how our other builds use stone variations for the walls? This one, we're going to change it up. So for the first block, white wool. This is going to be our primary wall block. And I know wool sounds kind of weird, but it's that nice half step in between stone and wood that reads more as plaster render, which is actually exactly what medieval buildings used. So try to keep that around like 2/3 of your wall. The second block is going to be calcite or diorite, or if you're feeling fancy, you can even mix in some quartz. This is just used to break up like the real long runs of the white wool, mostly the ones that wind up being longer than 4 blocks or 3 blocks or anywhere that you think looks a little bit too bland. Not too much, just 1 block here or there. It's definitely going to stop the wall looking just completely flat. Now, if you're feeling really adventurous like I am in this build, I'm going to mix in some stripped dark oak logs. So if you fancy the look, or if it's too much plain white for you, every 2 blocks of height, run a strip of dark oak horizontally between your vertical pillars. This will become cross beams. This will make your building look like it's half timbered. So for this instance, I'm going to put these logs inside of the wall, so they will not be on the same level or layer as the frame. They're going to be 1 level back inside of the wall. This combination of dark oak pillars, horizontal beams, white wool fill, it just makes this thing look like a real medieval building. And the best part of it is all of these are early game, survival friendly materials. No fancy blocks except for the quartz, I guess if you want to call that. But it's just very nice, smart block placement. Alright guys, so for the chimney, I'm just going to build it pretty simple and straight up so it's easier for you guys to follow along. For the materials, I'm going to be using stone brick for the main mass, which is going to give it more of a built or constructed kind of look. I'm going to come through afterwards and randomize it with stone variations, only above the foundation height. So then at the very top, I'm going to cap it off with a 2-block wide opening with no lid, because I'm going to place the 2 campfires inside of the top opening with the smoke effect. So now 2 campfires means more smoke. More smoke means it's actually cooking in there. Step back and look at what this chimney does. Not only does it break up the roof line, it tells you that people are inside. There's a fire going. There's warmth. From 50 blocks away, that chimney communicates everything that a traveler in a medieval world would need to know. This building is safe. This building is warm. This building has food. That's storytelling only through architecture. That's what separates good Minecraft builds from fantastic ones. Now we move on to roof time. And this L shape gives us a very interesting challenge here. We've got 2 roof sections that need to connect. The main hall gets the normal sloped roof, but the kitchen section is going to get the very common 1 up, 1 over style of pitch. For the roofing material, just like all of the buildings in our village, we're going with the dark oak stairs and blocks as the frame, and then the deep slate variations as the fill. Make sure you do not forget your overhang though. The roof must extend 1 block past the wall on all sides. This is going to be non-negotiable for medieval style builds. An overhang does 3 things. It gives you shade for your windows, which then adds depth. It protects the walls visually, which reads as real architecture. And it creates a natural covered porch area over your main door. Now for the junction where the 2 L-shaped roof sections meet, this is called a valley. Build each roof section independently, and then connect the slopes in the valley to create a smooth drainage line between the 2 slopes. Then come in afterwards and make sure you fill any of the awkward gaps with deep slate variations. Now once the bottom walls are done, we move to the top. Again, with all of our other buildings here, we're using stripped oak logs and oak wood planks. Since this building has a bigger side area here, I'm going to alternate the logs and planks, and then I'm going to finish it with 3 rows of planks on the top. Don't worry about the windows, we're going to punch them out whenever we do the interior. And there she is. From the outside, that is an inn. But we're only halfway done, because the inside of the Golden Tankard is what's going to make your village feel actually inhabited. But with that, there is week 7 of our village build series completed. Next video, I will move into the interior and show you how to build the interior design that I have chosen. After that, we'll head to the courtyard to decorate the outside and add in our doors and windows. Guys, if this video helped you out, drop a like. It genuinely helps the series reach a lot more people. If you guys are interested, the full playlist is in the description if you want to catch up from the very beginning. I'll see you next week, and until then, keep building.